thing about this session, these sessions are, we are not going to talk rocket science here. We are not going to talk about typical topics. We are going to talk about things that are very, very simple: income, expenses, and budgeting. Okay. Now, why we are talking about income, expenses, budgeting? Because in our last class, let's do a little recap of the last session. We talked about these things. Most of this you people offered or told. Okay. Net worth is a real indicator of a person's wealth and not his spending. A person who's spending more money might be able to spend, but he might not be a rich person. A rich person is the one whose assets are considerably larger than his liabilities. So whose net worth is more is a rich person. Okay. And when we are setting up goals, we talked about financial goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And when we are talking about financial goals, it what kind of financial goals we looked at? We looked at retirement, we looked at children education, we talked about children wedding, we talked about going on a dream vacation. These are the goals which will entail financial expenditure, financial outlay. Okay. And most of the decisions in your life are financial decisions, and each decision of the things that you are going to buy, each asset that you are going to acquire will ensure that your wealth will increase or your wealth will decrease. Okay. If you buy a capital asset whose value is going to increase in future, then it will lead to increase in your wealth. And if I am talking about a lifestyle asset, I'm talking about a car, a air conditioner, a mobile phone, so that may result to decrease in the net worth over a long period of time. Okay. And what we have to do is we have to maintain a balance between those assets which are going to increase our wealth and those assets which are going to reduce our wealth, because we cannot do away with lifestyle assets. Having said that, I said that car will reduce your net worth, but I'm not at all saying that you should not own cars. I'm saying that iPhone, buying a decision to take an iPhone might reduce your net worth, but that does not mean that you will not do so. So when you are going to through a decision which is going to decrease your net worth, you will invest in capital assets. You will buy a mutual fund. You will buy a share. You will buy a house. Anything that will increase in the value. Okay. And the difference between the asset and liabilities is your net worth. The purpose is to increase the net worth towards the life. Okay. Yeah. So when we start our life, okay, when we start the financial, when we start our life, we are financially dependent. Okay. When we start our life, we are financially dependent on our parents. Okay. The moment I get a job, I become financially independent. Okay. So whether I am financially dependent or I am financially independent, I have two kind of things: needs and wants. This is a very, very important decision right today. We talked about this briefly in the last session. What is the decision difference between need and want? Need is something that is necessarily for your survival. You need food to survive, but you want a pizza. So food is what you need and pizza is what you want. Okay. Want refers to things that make our lives comfortable, and both needs and wants. If I want to go from one place to another, I can go in a public transport also, but I want to go in a Mercedes. That is my want. And there's no end to wants. So basically, all these, whether we are able to fulfill our needs or whether we are able to fulfill our wants, this is also a decision which will be taken by one thing: that how much money I am earning and how much money I am spending. So what you can do is you can make changes in your expenditure pattern in order to save money so that you can achieve certain financial goal. Now when I am saying you can change your expenditure pattern, what I'm talking about? If you remember, I told you one example of a marshmallow study we talked about. Okay. Instant gratification and delayed gratification. Yeah, we talked about marshmallow in Stanford. It's a very detailed study being conducted in Stanford University, where the kids under the age of 5 years were sent in the room with a marshmallow and they were asked not to eat marshmallow for 15 minutes. Yeah. If you will wait, you will get to exactly there. That if the kids were to wait for 15 minutes, they would get two marshmallows, or they could eat one marshmallow and go. Okay, one marshmallow and one kid. And that kid was told, boss, if you don't eat this marshmallow for next 15 minutes, you will be given two. Now, vintage car is a different thing. That's not a normal asset. That again becomes a capital asset. Vintage car, antique, that becomes a capital asset, Siddharth. Okay. So basically, the whole story is about consumption and investment. You earn something, some part of it you are going to consume. If you consume too much, you will be left with lesser to invest or lesser to save. So the whole story of financial planning or the whole story of ensuring basically what we are doing is I call something, let me introduce you to a new concept called financial wellness. This is not there in the BBD. We'll come later. But what is financial wellness? Like physical wellness, everybody knows what is physical wellness. We need to exercise, we need to eat less, exercise more, be physically fit. Then that is physical wellness. At the same time, there are levels of financial wellness. Financial wellness is a situation where your assets are more than your liabilities, where your income is more than your expenses. And basically, we can go rise to the levels of financial wellness. Exactly, Navya. The goal is financial freedom. Okay. So let me reassign the goal. When you start your life, you are financially dependent. The moment you start earning, you become financially independent. Okay. You become financially independent, so you earn your financial independence. But still, your survival depend on your working. You have to work, you will earn money, and you will survive on that. But what we are achieving is we want to be financially free. So the journey is from independence to freedom over a period of life. Okay. Independence and freedom, they are not synonyms in financial terms. Independence and freedom are look synonym, no? But we are financially independent when Tarandeep, it is low. Is it better now, Tarandeep? My voice? So when I'm saying, okay, that when we are financially dependent on somebody, once we start earning, okay, then we will become financially independent. And then the journey goes towards financial freedom. And the first step in that journey is this: to earn more than I can spend. The whole story of life is between income and expenditure. These are the two things. These are the two things that you have to balance all your life: your income and expenditure. So when we are doing budgeting analysis, when we are doing surplus and deficit analysis, we are talking about, because the way you will be able to attain your financial freedom will depend on how much you will be able to save and invest. Where will the saving come from? The saving will come from, I am telling you that you need to create assets over your lifetime. You need to reduce your liabilities over the lifetime. But where will the assets get created from? How will you buy things? How will you buy capital assets or lifestyle assets, whatever? But where are you going to buy it from? You are going to buy it from your income only, no? Exactly, income. Now, if you spend all your income, then how will you be able to create assets? So that, exactly. So what is savings? Savings is the difference between income and expenditure. So if your expenditure is higher your income than your income, that no assets are going to get created. Your net worth is not going to get increased. So in the last class, we are talking about increasing our net worth continuously. And the key to increasing our net worth continuously is to ensure that our income is greater than our expenditure. The difference between income minus expenses could be surplus or deficit. Okay. If your income is more than your expenses, if the difference between the income and expenditure is positive in the budget, when you are making a budget, when you are drawing a budget, if the difference between the income and expenditure is positive, your income is more, your expenditure is less, then it is called a surplus. Surplus means extra. If your budget projects that you will spend less than what you earn, you will incur a surplus. If the difference between the income and expense is negative, that means your expenses are greater than your income, then this is the case of deficit. Okay. So in case your budget predicts that you will spend more than you are earning, then there is a case of deficit. If your budget predicts you will spend more than you earn, you will have deficit. And when you have deficit, what do you do to fulfill that deficit? You will have to borrow. Okay. And borrowing will increase your, yeah, exactly, loans. So loans will increase your asset or liabilities. Exactly. So if your income is more and expenses less, what will you do with the remaining amount? You will buy other things, you will buy assets. And if you take assets, your net worth will increase. But if your liability expenses are more and income is less, then there is a case of deficit. And when there is deficit, to fulfill that deficit, you will be getting a to fulfill the deficit, you will have to take a loan. Okay, and loan means liability. So this is an important thing. The first way of the first method or the first step towards creating a positive net worth is to ensure that your income is more than your expenses. Now, income is not in your hand. Okay, what your the between the income and expenses, what is in your hand? Income is not in your hand. Basically, it is your hand. You will earn. But if you are in a job, your salary will be fixed now for at least for 1 year, 6 months, it will be fixed. So expenses are on your hand. So that's why it is a very important thing that we keep an eye on expenses. Why? How do we keep an eye on expenses? We keep an eye on expenses by noting them down. Okay, by keeping an eye on them. Okay. So basically, this is the cornerstone of wealth creation. Okay. Protect your own wealth, increase your wealth, earn new wealth. Earning new wealth and ensuring that the new wealth that you are earning is not all spent in consumption. It is saved. Okay. So this is what we are talking about. Let's do a little activity based on that. Okay. A small case which will highlight this point. This is the case of Mr. Joshi. Mr. Joshi is a working guy, sole earning member of the family, and he has 40,000 rupees to run his household. Now let us talk about the item that is going to appear in expenses. Every item demands something from Mr. Joshi. As each item comes, okay, you have to keep track of how much money goes from Mr. Joshi's pocket. Let's make a table. So let's say monthly expenses. These are the monthly expenses. This guy is struggling. Okay, Mr. Joshi is struggling because, as I told you, his monthly expenditure is more than his monthly income. So basically, this is where we start from. Okay, when we are doing financial planning, if I have financial planner, somebody who is salaried, he comes to me. Curbing means reducing adya. Curbing means reduction. So when the guy comes to me, I look at income and expenses, and if the income and expenses difference is positive, then only I can do some financial planning for my guy. No, this guy, he is earning 40,000 rupees. You can look at the expenditure. Electricity bill is there, LPG cylinder, DTH, milkman, phone bill. Bittu is his son. So Bittu's cell phone bill is 500 rupees. Mother's demand for new saree, dry cleaners bill, house rent bill, grocery bill. So basically what we are saying is there are expenditures and he is struggling. Okay. So you are his financial planner, you are his financial advisor, or maybe you are his friend. Okay. But a little more financially aware friend. Okay. He comes to you, he says, boss, I cannot take care of my expenses. Can you help me? DTH means direct to home. Tata Sky. Tata Sky, Dish TV, Airtel, DTH. Ojas has asked the question, can a liability be useful? Sorry, Ojas, I did not answer that. Yes, a liability can be useful if you take a liability against an appreciating asset. Okay. If you take a liability, if you take a loan to acquire an asset which is appreciating in nature, then your liability can be useful. Okay. So let me list the expenses again. The first is electricity bill of 4,000 rupees. LPG cylinder of okay. DTH is direct to home Tata Sky. Milkman 2000 rupees takes. Phone bill, his own phone bill is 1000 rupees. Bittu's cell phone bill is 500 rupees. Phone means phone and internet both. Mother is asking for a new saree of 2000 rupees. 2000 is quite reasonable. Okay. Bittu's movie allowance is 700, which is also okay. Nowadays, movie allowance will go towards Netflix and Amazon Prime, and Bittu should not be given this. Just dry cleanup is 1500, house rent is 25,000, grocery is 4,000. Now tell me one by one, let us discuss each expenditure. Electricity bill, is there a scope for curbing? Means reduction. Can electricity bill be reduced? Yes. Are they saying no? Most of us are feeling yes, some of us are feeling no. By saving electricity, yes. Electricity bill is something which is in our control, okay? If we are a little more aware about this, turning off the lights of the room, turning off by using LEDs, exactly, Aparna, very good. By using LEDs, by using better means of this, okay, we can reduce our electricity usage at least by 500, nothing much I'm saying. From 4,000, can we take the electricity bill to 500? Solar energy will require more investment. So yes, solar is a good idea, but solar would require initial investment, and this guy is struggling right now. Okay, just a sec. Let me open we will not be able to write on this sheet. Let me open a sheet on which we will be able to write. Let us open an Excel sheet. Okay. Can you just a sec? Let me see. Can you, we all agree, you can all see the Excel sheet, no? This table is visible on your screens, no? Okay. So we agree that there is a scope for curbing in electricity bill. And can I say 3,500 I can take the electricity bill to? Okay, we are agreeing, no? That's great. If somebody is not agreeing, now Krish, you are not agreeing. Why are you not agreeing? Tell me. Krish is saying no. It is for discussion only. Now why do you think that electricity bill cannot be reduced? Acha, that was for next question. Okay. Yeah, 3,500, it can even be lesser, but we are going slow. We'll see that can it come beyond this. LPG cylinder cannot be reduced because that depends on Government of India. Okay, there is no scope for curbing. Okay. Second question. Okay, you then DTH also cannot be reduced, or maybe DTH. Akshay, we can do that, but here we are assuming he is taking a cylinder. Gas line might not be available at that place. Okay, gas pipeline is not available everywhere. This guy is in Delhi, I guess. DTH, can it be reduced? Yeah, DTH can be reduced. Exactly. DTH can be reduced from 600. DTH can be reduced by changing the plan. Yeah. DTH can be reduced. So let's take it to 500 kar de aur bhi kam kare. How much should we take it? 500. Okay, let's take it to 500. Okay. Milkman, no, we don't want them to go to this. Milkman cannot be curbed. Milkman means milkman is charging for the milk only. No, so milk is a necessity. We cannot change milk. We will not. Okay. So we are not reducing the milk's expenditure. So LPG cylinder is for 800. Now it is actually more than 800 right now in today's date. But milk ko we will look at this. Then phone bill 1,000 rupees. They can, if they will stop drinking milk, what will they drink? Can phone bill be reduced? Phone and internet bill? Yes, obviously. He can go for a cheaper plan. So let's say 600 with internet. Yeah, that depends. It could be reductible. Let me make it 700. He must be using his phone for professional purposes also, no? Bit 2 cell phone one can definitely be reduced. Can it be reduced to 250 is enough? Kya? Yes, 250 is good plan, no? 500 bit 2 does not need. Okay. So 250. Then mother's demand for new sari. Now this is a subjective case. Okay, I'll say yes. I'll convince her to take something worth 1500. No, not sari. She might take a suit or a sari worth 1500. That is, yeah, that is the assumption. She would not be asking for a new sari every month, so we can convince her. Okay. We can convince her that you take your sari next month. Okay. Bit 2's movie allowance 700. 700. This can definitely be reduced, no? If he goes to morning movies are for 100 rupees, 150 bucks. Yeah. So 700 is too much. Netflix at 99. Netflix 99 pe kya? Netflix must be 199. 199. Yes. 199. Let's be a little liberal will bit too. Let's give him 300. Okay. Amazon. Don't think the world will be locked down always. No, don't assume that things are going to be locked down. Things will open, we'll go out, we'll see movies in the theaters also, no? Dry cleaner bills, definitely this can be reduced. Okay. Bit 2s, yes. Dry cleaner bills, can this be reduced? What are you saying? Dry cleaner bills can be reduced or not? Yeah, can we reduce? Some of the clothes can be washed at the home. So what we can do is from 1500, we can bring it down to 1000. Okay. From 1500, we can bring this down to 1000, and house rent cannot be negotiated with. He can move into a smaller house, but house rent cannot be reduced. So 25,000, and even groceries are necessary. Groceries cannot be reduced. So we'll say groceries cannot be reduced, and we'll put 4,000 rupees for groceries. And let's look at, yeah, in that terms, we'll have to go into deeper analysis. Akshar has made a very good point that don't purchase unnecessary items as then would expire, leading us to throw the food away. Exactly. That is a good thing. But let us see. We have reduced that reasonably, we have reduced, and we have not been very, very stringent anyway. The only thing was in the earlier scenario, in the earlier case, his income in both the cases is 40,000. So in both the cases, okay, now we are below. In the first case, he was not even keeping a count on the expenses. He was just worried. Okay. And then as a financial advisor, as his friend, as a good Samaritan, what we did, we just tried to count his expenses and see this. The total expense, which was 42,100 now, has been reduced to 39,550. Okay. Now this guy is well within his limit. He says, okay, life is good. He is happy. And maybe he will have to go to home and convince his wife that the sari you take only for this month or maybe next month. Bit 2 would be happy with 300 only, no problems. Okay. Now, is this 450 rupees? What is the surplus now? Earlier there was, in the earlier case, there was a shortfall, negative. There's a shortfall of 2100 rupees, or rather I would say income minus expenses. There was deficit, and this 2100 rupees, it was a small deficit, but this deficit can increase. And now there's a surplus of 450 rupees. Okay. If you feel that this 450 rupees is enough, it's wonderful. Our purpose is achieved. From this is where the financial planning starts from. This is where the purpose or journey to wealth creation starts from. If your income will be more than your expenses, then only wealth can be created. If your expenses are more than in income, then in no case your wealth will be created. So what we did here was, looking at his detailed expenditure, we applied our judgment here. Okay, we applied our judgment here, and we brought this. Now, since some of you believe that this, if he wants to, now give me another thing. If he wants to invest 1,000 rupees every month in a mutual fund by SIP, he does not have thousands. So what can be further reduced? Which of the expenses can be further reduced? What do you feel? For his 1,000 rupees per month investment. Mother's sorry? Mother will not be very happy. Yeah, they can go move to a smaller house. Electricity bill can be reduced. So if I reduce electricity bill to 3,000, the surplus will increase to nearly 1,000. Milkman, I would not say. Stop watching movies. Bittu will not stop watching. No. It's his dad who wants to invest. Why should Bittu stop watching movies altogether? He has already reduced. So dry cleaner bill can be reduced. So depending on, so this is basically the thing is, this is the point that I am. Okay, Tetra Pak milk, is Tetra Pak milk cheaper than this? You can reduce DTH through Bittu's movie allowance by taking a plan. Okay. What is more expensive, Megha? What are you saying? It is more expensive. DTH is more expensive? Yeah. We can reduce 150 rupees. Yeah. Tetra Pak is more expensive. That's what I also know. When I'm saying milkman, don't think milkman is charging something extra. Milkman is just the guy who's delivering milk. Okay. So there can be many solutions. I'm not saying he has given the cost also. Okay, he's saying the milk cost can be reduced for 1650. Whatever. Okay. So this was just an example of budgeting. This is what budgeting is all about. This is what each family has to plan over life. What is the difference? What is the point that I was trying to make here is that in the first case, when this guy was not aware about his expenses, he did not even make a effort to reduce the expenses on a systematic basis. If you could see, we did not reduce anything drastically, and then also things came under control. Yes, exactly. A lot of things can be. They can take a plan where they can DTH and internet together like Reliance Jio nowadays. You can stop giving clothes to a dry cleaner and clean that at home. Yeah, many suggestions could be there. So we are going to do one more case study later. So we'll be talking about that. That's a more interesting case study. $50 for the need, $40 for the wants, and $10 for the investment. Akshar has suggested a rule: 50-40-10 rule. 50 for the needs. Bittu can start a part-time job. Wonderful, wonderful. So exactly now we all are home to the importance of budgeting. Coming back to our PPT then. Okay. So we have tried to save the, then we'll come to this. But before this, let's come. Income is what are the incomings of the family. Incomings of the family could be from anywhere. It can be from the profession. It can be from the investments that you have made. Okay. Direct income means salary or professional income. That is called active income. Okay. If I'm working in a company, I'm getting salary. If I'm working in a profession, I'm getting some money. That is my direct income. Okay. And indirect income would mean income that is coming from my investments. Okay. What I have written? Rent, interest, and dividend. If my asset, because basically when we are talking about investments, that we will be talking in our next class, one very important thing: we all work for money. It is equally important that money works for us. And how does money work for us? Money works for us when it is invested into certain productive things. So if your investment is in a house, it will generate rent for you. If you have put the money in bank, fixed deposits, if you have put money in term deposits, it will give you interest. And if you invested money in the equity shares of the company, you will get your part of the profit of the company. Yes, Joyce. If you are making small YouTube videos, putting it up on YouTube channel, and once you have done it once, but it is generating income to you regularly, it will be termed as a passive income. Okay. So passive income ke, there are a lot of sources now. Okay. So income basically, and as our great legendary investor Warren Buffett says, do not depend on one source of income. Create sources of passive income. And when I'm saying passive income is something which you are not regularly working. Like Joyce very smartly said, if somebody is making YouTube videos and that YouTube videos are generating views and generating income from you, you have worked it once, that is also a passive income. Okay. Like in a company's balance sheet, for those who are the students of commerce, you have seen that when you look at the income and expense statement of a company, there are revenues like net sales and other income. Okay. In our life also, salary, income from business or profession, and then there are other expenses, income. Yeah, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and R.K. Damani, their main income is passive income. They don't have active income. All their income is passive income, and income is quite high. They generate income. Exactly, I mean, somebody was asking about cryptocurrency. Huh? What are cryptocurrencies? Somebody would like to answer what are cryptocurrencies? Shreya Shah, I think, was asking the question, what are cryptocurrencies? Bitcoin is a type of cryptocurrency. Yeah, exactly, Arjab. Cryptocurrencies, Shreya, are the digital currencies, actually. They are not in physical form. Like we have shares in dematerialized forms, no? Electronic currency, we can say that. Okay. So cryptocurrency is like an electronic currency and they are being traded, exchanged virtually only. Okay. That is what cryptocurrency is. There are many things like Dogecoin is one, Ethereum is one, Bitcoin is the original thing. So it is being traded like other currencies, it is trading, and all the factors that make these currencies move and who created these currencies, not very, all the information of the currencies, these cryptocurrencies are in public domain. Okay. So they are considered a little speculative otherwise, and they have tremendously increased in value over the last some 3, 4, 5 years. 10, 12 lakhs ka. Yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto was considered to be the original people who created Bitcoin, Sarjun. Chaliye, coming back to our discussion, so income, Bitcoin, you will be able, if you want to invest, even if you want to invest in Bitcoin, no, you know how much money you require to invest in one Bitcoin? Nobody knows how is, what is Satoshi Nakamoto. It's a Japanese thing and nobody actually knows what is it. Yeah, it is in lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs. Where will that come from? So you will have to earn that money also, no? 12 lakhs was cost of one Bitcoin some days back. I don't know right now, but it's in lakhs, 12, 13 lakhs at least. Okay. So right now RBI is not allowing you to do that. So coming back, now I know Bitcoin is very, very intriguing topic. Everybody is excited about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is risky. It is speculative, inflated prices. 42 lakhs. That's great. Okay. So let's come back from Bitcoin and let's be focused on our monthly budget. Monthly budget depends on your incomes and expenditure. Okay. So when we are talking about expenditures can be divided into two kind of expenditure. One is discretionary expenditure and one is indiscretionary expenditure where you cannot do anything about it. What are discretionary expenditures? Discretionary expenditure are those expenditures which you can reduce. So when Bittu sees a movie or doesn't see a movie, that is a discretionary expenditure. Well, but Bittu will drink milk or Bittu will eat food. That is not an discretionary expenditure. So expenditures which cannot be reduced, cannot be curbed, those are called indiscretionary expenditure. So give me examples of some indiscretionary expenditures. Electricity bill is a discretionary expenditure to a certain extent. Rent is indiscretionary. Food is indiscretionary. Water bill indiscretionary. LPG indiscretionary. Grocery indiscretionary. House rent indiscretionary. Okay. Food is an indiscretionary expenditure. All the meal items. Exactly, Harshita. Medicine also is indiscretionary. School fees indiscretionary. Milk, clothes. Basic clothes are indiscretionary. Okay. School uniform you have to buy. It's indiscretionary. So all the expenditure that is being made on the essential necessary items, that is indiscretionary in nature, and when we are making budgets we cannot touch them. Okay, in the table that we made earlier, see this expenditure which we could not do anything about: LPG cylinder, milkman, आपका house rent, grocery bill. These are wants. Whatever we want is a discretionary expenditure. So what is a discretionary expenditure? If you want to go out and eat, you want to go to McDonald's, you want to go to Pizza Hut. Each time you go to Pizza Hut, what is the bill? At least 500-700 rupees you have to spend, no? So if you go to Pizza Hut 4 times in a year, at least 500 rupees you will spend. So if you go to Pizza Hut 4 times, 2000 will be spent. You can decide not to go 2 times. Okay. So those expenditure where you have control on, where you can reduce as per your will, as per your wants, those expenditure are discretionary expenditure. Ananya, not all grocery items, but yes, some part of grocery can come under discretionary. For the thing you are bringing something which is like, you can say that you are consuming 5 kgs of oil in a particular month. Okay. So you can decide to limit your oil to 3 kgs. That will be good for your health also. Sugar also, even milk also. Some people were suggesting, na, 2000 for milk is more. You should reduce the milk consumption. So to that extent, it is a discretionary expenditure. But at the same time, you cannot say that you should stop eating, drinking milk, or you should stop eating oil. You cannot say that. What we can do is, to an extent, like if the 4000 grocery bill is there, by being very, very tight-fisted, we can bring it down to 3500 or something. But generally, when we are speaking from the financial planning sense, we are speaking as financially literate people. We generally do not like to curb our grocery expenditures, because grocery, milk, and vegetables, these are simply the things which we need. Okay. But at the same time, having said that, things like oil and ghee, unhealthy things can be removed. Okay. So basically, when we are making budget, what we have to do is, the first thing is about making a budget is to listing down our expenses. And if we are listing down our expenses, then expenses have to be classified also. Okay. So income is good, all income is good, but not all expenses are good. Some of the expenses can be reduced. Okay. This is what I was talking about: discretionary expenditure and indiscretionary expenditure. So there has to be a balance. If there are discretionary expenditure have to be in limits. If the discretionary expenditures are not in limits, then what will happen? Then your indiscretionary expenditure will come under thing. Okay. Now we come to savings. What are savings? What is the formula of savings? Income minus expenses savings. This formula is correct? Is this correct? Income minus expenses savings? Yeah, exactly. Income minus expenses saving. Nitika is saying this is incorrect. So Nitika, some other approach that you would want to suggest? In the general common sense, this is the thing, na? Income minus expense is savings. Income minus expense is investment fund. Exactly, Nitika. Yeah. Saving is not enough. You should do expense, but investment you should do. But investment you will do if your income minus expense. And please believe me, when you will start earning, you will realize that expenses have a tendency, if you don't control the expenses, your expenses will consume your income. Okay? As I told you, in the earlier times when we were kids, when I was a kid, the avenues to spend money was not very high. But nowadays, you don't even have to go out of the house to spend money, no? If you have money, where can you spend it? You go to your mobile phone, open your mobile phone, buy certain things. Can you do that? Amazon, you can buy games. Abhi, IPL is going on and this thing is coming, no? MPL and all those. I don't know. I don't Dream 11 and all. You make teams. Dream 11, MPL. I don't do that, but I see that the government has allowed them with the that these games include financial risk. So in the wheel, a lot of things are there. So please believe me, people who are very intelligent, done their engineering from IITs, MBA from IIMs, they are sitting in the marketing department of these companies. Okay? They are sitting in the marketing department of Amazon. They are sitting in the marketing department of Flipkart. Okay? And if we do not care about our expenses, they will come, put a hand in our pockets and take our money. They'll create the great Indian shopping festival. They'll create the big billion sale. They'll create one pay one free, buy two get three free. These are the things. Nothing. Let's say some years ago I went to a mall and I was not intending to buy a shirt. I was just thinking I'll buy one shirt if I'll. Then I saw that there was an offer: buy two get three free. So I thought that I have anyways to buy one. So while I have not buy one more, I bought one more, got five shirts in my hand. Now then later I thought that I only went to buy one shirt, but this company gave me five shirts. And do you think that these companies are giving it to me for free? Okay. So we have to be very, very important. Yes, Aditya, these are betting, not even indirect, these are betting. Okay. So basically, when you are looking at Amazon, it is giving you 40% off or 50% off. Another some years ago, a friend of mine came to me. He said, "Oh, I made a super deal. I got Goa tickets for 2,000 rupees. So I book all family for Goa. And we are taking a Goa trip. We are also going to take a Goa trip now in case study." But then I asked him a question, "Were you even planning to go to Goa?" He said, "No." He said, "Okay, by giving a 2,000 rupees ticket, this company has asked you to spend 35,000 rupees." So it is very important that we change our outlook. It should be income minus savings is equal to expenses. First, we should have a idea, a definite ballpark figure that this month or whatever this year, 30% of my income will go towards saving. And whatever will remaining that I'll spend. So income minus expenses is equal to saving. You will end up saving zero. Okay. Why? Because expenses have a tendency to, if you decide that I will save 30% of my income or whatever percentage is comfortable to you, 20%, and remaining amount needs to be spent. This is the thing. This is a successful budgeter can make. Arjun is asking me a question: how a company is earning buy one get one free? Their cost is 500 rupees, okay, and they are charging you 1,000 rupees for it. So if you if you take two in 1,000, they will be benefited only, no? That's how they earn. They first price their products high and then give huge discounts. And we people are programmed in such a way that we get personal satisfaction after getting discount. So companies are, whatever schemes company is going, even they are giving you end of season sale. They are, so just imagine when they are selling one pizza for 300, they are earning a profit of 100 rupees. Do you think any company can give you thing which is causing loss to them? Unless it is funded by like Swiggy and all, they are funded. Otherwise, I'm not talking about the startup. Swiggy and Zomato, yeah, they have been able to give you less because these companies are funded by funded by investors, and they are getting it money. But mostly companies, nobody is selling you for losses. Now, out of these formulas, which formula is the more correct one? I will say the second formula is the more correct one. The first formula is common logic. Okay. This formula is your common logic. And this formula is a financially wise one. Because please believe me, right now you are at such an age where the things will not look very important to you. But savings, what does money tell you? Have you heard about that joke? What does money say to you? Anybody knows the answer? What does money tell you? Money tells you, you save me today, I'll save you tomorrow. Isn't it? Money tells you, you save me today, I'll save you tomorrow. Okay. So that's an important part. And expenses have a tendency to swell. Okay. Second point, this Harshit, income minus savings is equal to expenses. This is what you are saying. Okay. What I'm saying is both the formulas are same. Mathematically, both these formulas are same. If you look at equations, both the formulas are same. But the change, the difference is only of attitude. If you think this formula is saying that I earn something, whatever expenses will come, I'll spend it, and whatever remaining will be saving. Okay. So if you don't worry about your expenses, then expenses have a tendency that they will be more than income and your savings might be zero. But in this case, what we are doing, we are changing our attitude that I am going to be disciplined and I will save 30% of my income. So let's say here, if I am earning 50,000 rupees a month, okay, and my expenses is 45,000, my saving would be 5,000. Okay. And I am always tense why I am able to save only 5,000. Here also, if I say my income is 50,000, but I decide that my saving will be 15,000, so I will spend only 35,000. Come what, come fire or ice sky, I will not spend more than 35,000 rupees, and I will, by doing budgeting, I will live in 35,000 rupees because this 15,000 rupees per month that I am saving that today, tomorrow they will save me. Got it now? What is the difference? Mathematically, there is no difference between the formula. The equation is same. But attitudinally, this is very, very different. Yes, second formula is giving priority to savings, obviously. So saving should be your priority. Otherwise, consumption is easy. You can easily consume whatever you are earning. Okay? And if you are aware of this particular thing, this particular aspect from the starting of your professional life, believe you me, that by the time you will get 10 years, 15 years into your profession, you don't have to worry about money. Kavya, what you are saying, tax is not discretionary, tax is indiscretionary. You cannot do away with tax. In our country or in any country, tax is a indiscretionary expense. Pragya, school fees is a indiscretionary expense. It's not a discretionary expense. Now it is discretionary in that sense that you can decide in which school you are going to let your kid. If you want to go for a expensive school or a not so expensive school, in that way school fees could be expensive. Stop eating snacks. That is what Vijay is saying. Okay. You can reduce your taxes as provided under the Income Tax Act. Tax is not your expense. Tax is something which you have to pay. Okay. Now, by hiring CA or not by hiring CA, by studying the very provisions of Income Tax Act, you can reduce your income tax liability. Agriculture related activities, agriculture income is tax free in our country, Sai. Agriculture income is tax free in our country because farmers mostly are low income households. Now what these people are doing, a lot of people have taken advantage of the fact that any income generated from the agricultural land in our country is free from tax. Because most of our population is depending on that, and those are low income households. So that is the provision in our Income Tax Act. Yeah, Mega, it is very correct. By not eating snacks, you can on taxes, income tax you want, Guinness? In what class you are? Saving taxes ethically, there are a lot of books like tax का कोई special book नहीं आता, but I remember there's a book called In the Wonderland of Investments. Okay, there's a book called In the Wonderland of Investment, but no, it's not loopholes. Don't go for loopholes. Don't look for loopholes. Look for ethical, legal ways of saving tax. There are various sections which gives a lot of exemption and deduction from the taxable income. Okay, go for those things. Don't go for loopholes in taxation, because if you, there are three ways of saving taxes. Chaliye, you are talking about taxes. Let me give you about an idea about taxation. There are three ways of taxation: tax evasion, tax avoidance, and tax planning. Tax evasion is something where we hide our income, and tax avoidance is something which we are looking for loopholes. Both of the things can make you charged with something. So don't do that. Do tax planning. Okay, tax planning includes, yeah, there are criminal offenses. You can be charged, you can be jailed also. So do tax planning where all the sections 80C, 54, whatever sections are there, you can save a lot of taxes. Exactly, Krish. Don't go for black money. Okay. So income minus savings is equal to expenses. Make this a rule of your life. Okay. And three ways of saving taxes: tax evasion, tax avoidance, and tax planning. This is what I was talking about, Arshita. Tax evasion is a situation where you hide your income, black money. Tax avoidance is a system when you are, is a particular way in which we are looking at taking advantage of loopholes of taxation law. And the third thing, what you are talking about, tax planning. Tax planning is the proper way of saving taxes in which we take advantages of all the acts. Writing of tax nahi hota hai, Joyce, it is writing of income. Tax, when it is done in a legal way, it is called tax planning, Arman. It's not called tax avoidance. Just sometimes we call writing of expenses and writing of expenses, writing of some part of income. Okay, so some part of income that was there, it is written off, means it is reduced from your incomes, and that's why whatever tax that was accrued on that income, you are not charged for that. Because as a wise man once said, say this: if you buy things that you don't need, soon you will have to sell things that you need. Okay. If you buy things that you don't need, you will soon have to sell things that you need. Now, can anybody identify the wise man who said it? Yeah, Arjun. We are talking about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is attributed to a lot of quotes. Okay. So he said, If you buy things that you don't need, soon you will have to sell things that you need. So be very, very careful. Yeah, Kansh. So be very sure about discretionary expenditures, indiscretionary expenditures. Indiscretionary expenditures are those expenditures which we cannot touch. While discretionary expenditures are those expenditures which we can reduce, like many people are discussing snacks here today. Okay, that you should not eat snacks, you should eat snacks, you should eat snack once a week. So my suggestion would be don't give up snacks altogether. Okay? Keep eating snacks, but reduce. That will improve your financial wellness also, and that will improve your physical wellness also. I was talking about a book on taxation in the Wonderland of Investments. But what I will say, having said that, if you are students of commerce and then you have this tax manual, no, VK Singhania or Girish Ahuja, I don't know whether you are aware of that or not. Okay. Then, okay. So coming back to our budgeting part, we have done that. Let's look at some of the concepts, some of the theoretical concepts which will be helpful for you. Land and rent coming on it will be agricultural. If you bought an agricultural land, so huh? I think it should be agricultural income also, but I will confirm it to you in the next class. Ask the question in the next class again. Okay, it should be agricultural only, but ask it in the next class also. I'll confirm it. As far as I can think, it should be agricultural only. So cash flow statement, when I'm talking about cash flow statement, I'm talking about not talking about the cash flow statement that you have studied in the commerce companies. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about cash flow statement. That means a statement that is recording your income and expenditure on day-to-day basis. Okay, that is your cash flow. Now, do you make it in your case also? Do you make it your income? Consider income your parents are giving you. Parents must be giving you pocket money or the money for your expenditure. Consider that your income and jot down your expenses. What is budget? Budget is a plan for the coordination of resources and expenditures, or it is a projection of one's earning and expenditure. The budget is nothing else. It is the debit and credit of your income and expenditure. Depends. Yeah, schools also have to pay taxes, Aditya. Depends. Because schools are incorporated in the form of societies or trusts. So there are separate rules for them, but yes, they have to pay. Okay. So what we are talking about? We are talking about budget. Budget is a plan for the coordination of resources and expenditures or a projection of one's earning and expenditure. So you start making your own budget, okay? Every month beginning, how much money I'm going to get from my parents, what are my expenditures, and start saving money. Okay? Make a make a smart goal. I want to do some saving this year. This is non-smart goal. I want to save 5,000 rupees. I want to save 10,000 rupees. Whatever you make it a smart goal, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And at your own level, start making budgets from now on. We are all now you are saying that physical expenditure would be difficult for coming some 1 or 2 months, but still. Okay, let me focus on increasing my voice. Just a sec. Now let's look at computer audio, like everybody is feeling my voice is lower. My computer audio is full. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thanks a lot. So for most of the people, my voice is good. Please, people who are hearing it low, please check audio settings at your end also. Okay. So we are talking about when you will make a budget, when you will note down your income and expenses, then you will realize that there is a surplus. Surplus is the amount that remains when use or need is satisfied. When your all expenses, all your needs and wants are satisfied with your income, whatever amount is remaining, it's called surplus. And when, okay, thank you. Deficit is a lack or an excess of expenditure over earning. Okay. Then we come to, there are two concepts. One is called instant gratification and one is called delayed gratification. What is delayed gratification and instant gratification? Delayed gratification is a situation when we are ready to postpone our consumption. When as a child in the marshmallow study, I am ready to wait 15 minutes so that I can have another marshmallow. That is called delayed gratification. With long-term goals, you must be willing to give up something you want now to get something better or bigger in the future. This is called delayed gratification. And when you want to satisfy a want immediately, it gives you instant gratification. So instant gratification means consumption. Okay. And delayed gratification means investment. If you are focused only on instant gratification, that whatever happens tomorrow we'll see, but let me enjoy my life today, then there will be a problem later, because if you don't save the money today, who will save you later? Okay. So there has to be a balance between instant gratification and delayed gratification. We cannot use all our resources on instant gratification. Okay. So we got instant gratification and delayed gratification. Exactly, Maher. If I am eating within first 15 minutes, I am eating one marshmallow, that I am focusing on instant gratification. Okay. And when I am waiting for 15 minutes so that I can get two marshmallows, then I am taking the advantage of delayed gratification. Then comes a very, very important concept called opportunity cost. Now, what is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is what you give up every time you make a choice. Okay. If you are putting your money, or if I am your friend, okay, I am asking you that please lend me 100 rupees or 1000 rupees. Okay. By lending the money to me, exactly, Joyce. By lending the money to me, you are giving up an opportunity for putting that money in the bank and earning 7, 8, 9, 10%, whatever return that you are may earn. Okay. So the cost of next best alternative to the alternative that we are taking is known as opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what you give up every time you make a choice. Resources are limited and wants are endless. There is no way we can have it all. So each choice to buy something is also a choice of what to give up or not to buy something else. Okay. So if I decide to put my money in the piggy bank, I am losing the opportunity to earn 12-13% return. So this is called opportunity cost, and opportunity cost makes a very important role, plays a very important role in your financial decision making. Your decision whether to invest in a particular asset class, your decision whether to buy a particular asset or not will depend on opportunity cost. So these are some of the important concepts related to budgeting. Okay. Now let's do a small case once more to highlight the importance of budgeting. Okay. Just I am starting the case study. This case was a little bigger, so we had to. It was not coming on the slide, so we are just directly going to the Word document. Just a sec. Okay. So this is what we are going to discuss. This case ko I have named it as Goa calling. Okay. So this is a story kind of thing. Let me tell you the story first, then we will be starting solving. Okay. This is a story of a guy called Ritesh, a very smart boy, all of 14, lives in Delhi with his parents and younger sister Remy, who is 12. His father is a professor in a college and mother is a homemaker. Okay. And right now we are talking about it's a month of June. School will start in a week's time. So we are assuming forget about Corona right now. School will start. Okay. Ritesh and Remy have spent the vacation at their grandparents' place. When they come back, they tell their mother that they want some change. Okay, they want to go to some place to change. So mother is also excited. She says, okay, let's do some changes. Okay. So they decide to go to Goa. Okay. They decide that we should all go to Goa. So when the father comes home, these guys tell their father about their plans. The father also gets excited but said that they should rather go to a place nearby. But these kids did not like it. Okay. So father told them a very important thing about budgeting was this month your schools are starting. So there will be expenditure on your school books, school uniforms. So I won't be able to afford it. Okay. So in any case, you find out how much the trip costs and what can we do about it. So Remy said that I have seen in TV that the best time to go to Goa is during the winter. So even if we are not able to go to right now, okay, we should go to Goa in Christmas holidays, 6 months down the line. Okay, wonderful. Dad realized that the children have done their homework. So he gives in. Okay. And he says, all right, let me give this thing a thought. But let me tell you, even at that time, in December also, I won't be able to spare anything more than 30,000 for your trip. And I don't think it will be possible for us to have a trip to Goa in 30,000. Now the children were disheartened and their mother said, why don't you find out what 5-day trip will cost in Goa and let us see if we can do something about this. So what happened? The dad went online and found that a reasonable trip to Goa will cost them something around 60,000 for 5 days. Again an impasse. They need 60,000 and dad says, I am only having 30,000 rupees. So the children are also again disheartened. But at that, the mother said, okay, do one thing. Okay. The mother told the kids, look, children, we have 6 months to go and 30,000 together. Since dad is willing to spare 30,000 rupees, okay, maybe if we put all our heads together, we might be able to save the money by curbing our daily expenses here and there. So mother suggested budgeting. Okay. Ritesh, why don't you take the initiative and do something about it? So mother asked Ritesh, you do something about it. At this, the father also became excited. He said, okay, my kids are getting some work, let me help them. Their father added, this is a fantastic idea. Your school is yet to begin, and I'm sure you will be able to give some time and draw a better budget for your family. I will share this case with you. Okay, later also, if you want to refer, you can refer this. Both the kids were excited about the new project. Ritesh kicked up his heels, okay, and decided to start this mission by finding out the exact expenditure of family on various items. Now the question comes, if they have to save money, if they have to save 30,000 rupees in the 6 months, what is the first thing? First, they have to find out, no, that how much the family is spending on each item. So for that, the mom and dad agreed that they will give you the current expenditure. What is happening? Okay. Their father, okay, both the kids had decided to start the mission by finding out So basically, what was the smart goal? This family smart goal. What is the smart goal now? They want to save 30,000 rupees within the next 6 months in order to enjoy a 5-day long vacation in Goa. Is it specific? Yes, it is specific. No, exactly. We are talking about 30,000. It is miserable. Yes, miserable. 30,000 in 6 months. Okay. Achievable. Now, is it achievable or not? That we will come to conclusion after discussing it. Okay. Looking at the detailed budget of the family, it is realistic or not? 30,000 in 6 months is quite reasonable. Realistic? Do you think it is realistic? Yes, it is realistic. Okay. And one very important quality of this, it is time bound. Is it time bound? Yes, exactly 6 months down the line. Right now they are sitting in June. They want to go in Christmas. So it has all the qualities of a smart goal. It is specific, it is measurable, it is achievable, it is realistic, and it is time bound. This is a smart goal. Okay. And when the goal is smart, it is more often than not, it is achieved. When the goal is smart, yeah, it is time bound. It has every characteristic of a smart goal. So let us work towards meeting this smart goal. Okay. The goal is also already smart. So the first thing is looking at the family's budget. This is the family budget as the parents told them. Okay. Medical and emergency reserve 5,000 rupees. Electricity bill is 5,000 rupees. Phone and internet bill 2,000 rupees. Movie and popcorn at multiplex 3,200. Dinner at a restaurant 2,000 rupees. Diesel expenses for long drive 1,000 rupees. Grocery cost them 5,000 rupees. Okay. These are the details of the grocery. Provisions, cooking oil. Achha, this is coming more than 500 rupees. Okay. Milk and vegetable 1,500 each. Father's diesel expenses of going to office is 5,000 rupees. Ironing clothes is 700 rupees. Okay. This is the budget which was given to Ritesh by mom and dad. So what is our first thing? What is our first task? Our first task is to identify which expenditures are discretionary and which expenditures are not discretionary. I can't see the chats. Just a sec. Exactly, classify them. Okay. First, we have written the expenditures. Now classify them. Medical and there's emergency reserve. Is it a discretionary expense or indiscretionary expense? I will say curbing is possible or not. I will term this as indiscretionary. So curbing won't be possible here. Medical and emergency reserve, please do not touch it. Okay. Let me go to Excel only. Chaliye. Let's look at it here. So when we are talking about medical and there can be a scope for curbing because people don't fall ill every week, but at this point in time, I'll say proposed saving is 0. Electricity bill, obviously, since everybody believed that electricity bill can be reduced. So how much saving can be there in electricity bill? Is there a scope for curbing possible? 500 we can save, 2,500. 500. Chaliye, let's put 500 first. Okay. Let's take easier goals. Let's put 500. Okay. Phone and internet bill, can it be reduced? Can the phone and internet bill be reduced? 1225. How much by how much it should be reduced? 500 rupees is okay, or should we reduce more? 500 is okay. The dad might be using for professional reasons also. Nowadays, school work and a lot of work goes on internet. So let's reduce it by 500 rupees. First, I'm reducing by 500 rupees because 500 is very, very realistic. Movie and popcorn at multiplex, it's a super discretionary expenditure. Can it be reduced? How much saving can we do? Abhi to the movie and don't think about completely. Don't reduce it completely. Let's make it half. Okay. So if they are going to movie every weekend, let's make it half, 1600 rupees. Okay. इसको हम 1600 कर देते हैं. Let's reduce it to 1600. Yeah, Vinay, don't. We are assuming pandemic is not going on. Times are normal. Okay, right now, so there are no expenses in movies. Movies wala. Restaurant is 2000 to 1000. Yeah. Restaurant can also be curbed. So yes, 1000 mein they can eat once, no? Earlier they might be eating 2 times in a month in a restaurant. Now they can eat once in a month. Right now, I would say, Abhi, see this, how many expenditure we are saving right now. Diesel for long drive expenses. Now in 1000 rupees that diesel, they must be giving 2 to 3 times. Can it be reduced? Diesel expenses for long drive. Yeah, they can reduce their excursions, no? Let us make it half. So we are reducing this also by 500 rupees. So this is the monthly saving. Okay, proposed saving per month. Now let us see how much money they have saved. And in this particular thing, most of the expenditures are discretionary, except for medical and emergency expenditure. Electricity bill we reduce by a smaller amount. Phone and internet bill we reduced. Movie popcorn, dinner, diesel expense for long drive. These were discretionary expenditure. Okay. So how much we are saving here? See this. This into 6 months, 3000 rupees are being saved in the electricity bill. Into 6, 3000 is being saved in the phone and internet. Then we are talking about this into 6, 9600 is being saved in movie and popcorn. Into 6, 6000 rupees, and this is 3000. So the total saving from this discretionary expenditure for 6 months, have we achieved our goal? Our goal is 30,000 rupees. Have we been able to achieve our goal? We'll have to see. So let me put some 24,600. Some people are telling me yes. Okay. 24,600 is basically the total savings. So we have still way to go. Okay. We have still a way to go. So just by curbing discretionary expenditure, what these guys have been able to do, they are far closer to Goa than they thought earlier. They are far closer to Goa than they thought earlier. Just a little more distance of 5,400 is remaining. And let's see, let's cover that distance also. Now in groceries, as you were asking, grocery. Now these expenditures, the remaining expenditures, are they discretionary or not? Now cooking oil is 825 rupees. 825 rupees mein, he is asking his mother, how much oil do we consume? What do you think? How much oil in 825 rupees? 5 liter of oil? 160, 170 rupees per liter the oil has become nowadays. No, not 1 liter. 1 liter would be this olive oil. Yeah. So 825 say the oil expenditure is the only thing that I am looking that let me reduce it. Reduce it by 200 rupees per month. Okay. Okay, 200 rupees per month oil we can reduce. 620 rupees is looking reasonable, no? I'm just asking you. I'm working with you only. Okay? I have not a ready solution for this. Then what do we do? Vegetables and all, let's not touch this. Now, father's diesel expenditure. Now he asks us that. Now this diesel expenditure of father is, he is going daily to his office. Okay. So this guy goes to his father and asks that, can you help us? That one day in a week, can you go by public transport or you can go by carpooling or something? To which dad agrees. So how much can we save? If he requests his dad to 500 rupees per month, we can save. 5,000, 4 weeks का कितना हुआ? Per week it 1250. So 1250, yeah, 500 to 600 rupees. 600 rupees around would be the saving. So I'll put it as 600 is the saving here. Okay. Then this guy takes an initiative, ironing clothes. This guy says, okay, my clothes I will iron. Okay. This guy says that my clothes I will iron. Yeah, iron it at home. He's not saying dad's clothes will still go. So 200 rupees per month he can save from ironing. Reasonable. Okay. So let me see the additional savings. 200 into 6. 1200, then this is 600 into 6. That is coming to 3600, and finally it is 200 into 6, 1200. So what are the additional savings? Let me see. 24,600 plus 1200 plus 3600 plus 1200. 30,600. Wow. And how much money they needed? They needed 30,000 rupees. Okay. So let me repeat this. Their goal was getting 30,000 rupees in 6 months. Now, how did they have to achieve this goal? How did this guy Ritesh had to achieve this goal? This guy Ritesh had to achieve this goal by budgeting. And how did he do this? First thing we did, we classified the expenses into discretionary and indiscretionary expenditure. In discretionary expenditure, we did not even touch. Only discretionary expenditure, reducing them by reasonable amount. We ensured, these guys ensured, this family ensured that they can go to Goa. They can use extra 600 for snacks. Good. 600 rupees. So the SMART goal is achieved. That was all our purpose all the time. No, we wanted to achieve the SMART goal. 5,000 rupees. We did not touch medical emergency. We did not touch grocery also, but grocery may one oil is considered a little unhealthy, so we are improving the physical wellness also. Milk we did not touch, provisions we did not touch, vegetables we did not touch. Father, because the father asked us to do this, so he cooperated. Okay. So this is an example of budgeting. Okay. And this is continuous requirement in your life from now onwards. You should focus on budgeting. Can't they also put 30,000 to the investment for 6 months? Yes, that is an idea. But my father is saying he will have 30,000 6 months down the line. Okay. He doesn't have 30,000 today because in this month he has an expenditure on their uniforms, clothes and everything, no? If the dad, that's a very good example from Mahir, very good intervention from Mahir, that if dad has 30,000 now, so that 30,000 can be put in some FD for 6 months, no? Yes, Pratham, that's a good idea. You can do that. Yes, that's a wonderful idea, which I did not cover. I am assuming that they were keeping money with themselves. Now, if saving money each month, they can make an RD or something, you can do that. Okay. Then their goal, they will have more money for snacks. If they are saving, every month they are saving 500, 500, 1600, kitna, monthly saving, how much it is? 500 plus 500,000 and 2600,000. Index fund, now this is a good question that you people have raised. Better to go for index fund than an FD. Why did I talk about FD only? When you are investing for such a short term, no? Don't go for index fund or equity fund. Short term means safe investment. So go for an FD or a bank RD, that would be better. Okay. Don't go for mutual fund investment, long term investment. In the next class, we are going to talk about investments. So don't worry. We will be talking about investment options. We will be talking about the compounding. Next session is going to be quite interesting. Okay. We will be doing a lot of mathematical interventions if you people are okay with it. Can I use Excel for calculations? For financial calculations? If you people are okay with it, then I'll show you some magic of compounding in the next class. Don't worry, this class is not over. Since you people mentioned index funds and all, that means I'm assuming you people are quite aware. But these are the basics. We say that when we start with the basics of financial literacy. So when we are talking about basics of financial literacy, all world, I told you about that our goal is to increase net worth. So the next question could be, where do we start from? We start from estimating our income and expenses, and the estimation of our income expenses is called budgeting. So if our goal is smart, if our goal is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound, it can be achieved by proper planning, as we just saw in this particular case study, where the family which was finding going to Goa quite difficult, now they will be able to go to Goa, and that too without incurring any additional expenditure on the part of the dad. Isn't it interesting? Please try this. This is not only like whatever I am discussing with you. This is not only that it can be done in the classes. You can see this happening at your places, at your homes. Okay. But the only thing is, you people might not be that much involved with the income and expenditure. So try to get involved. Try to get involved. Look at the kind of cash inflows, cash outflows your family has, how your parents are managing. Is the life easy or is the life difficult? Okay. If it is easy, can you make it easier? And always remember this quote by Warren Buffett. If you buy things that you don't need, soon you will have to sell things that you need. So very important, whenever you are making a decision to acquire an asset, whenever you are looking to buy something, please analyze, evaluate your decision, whether this is something you need or something you want. And having said that, I'm not saying that you should not completely not buy things that you want and not need. You should do that. But for that, we have to have enough maneuverability space in our budget. Excuse me. Speaking for a long time, so just. So basically what you are realizing here is, and what you must be realizing by this time is, that what we are talking about here is not a very technical thing. It's not a very rocket science kind of thing. It is very, very common. But something that you have to realize. Like when people talk about shortcut in mathematics, there are many shortcuts in mathematics for quick calculations. Now, most of them are very common things, simple things. The only thing that you have to do is you have to realize that. Maths class, your class is not mathematics class, otherwise I would have shown you some shortcut. Okay. So how, next question comes, how do we track our expenses? You can make diary entries, you can maintain a diary. Okay. But now nobody maintains physical diary, physical documents are a passe. So you can maintain an online Excel sheet on your computer, you can maintain an Excel sheet, just I showed you. Make a list of your expenses, like your expenses could be expenditure on stationery, expenditure on books, internet, mobile recharges, DTH recharges, subscription to various apps or something. Okay. So maintain an Excel sheet and keep an eye on those things. Or you can, what you can do is, now the things are very, very easy. Credit card statement and bank statements are available easily. This I will be talking to you. Credit card and bank, both we are going to discuss in our upcoming session on 7th and 10th May respectively. Okay. And you have to understand that in your life, which expenditure is discretionary and which expenditure is indiscretionary. I am sure that most of you would not have to worry about your expenses. Okay. But even if you do not have to worry about your expenses, think about your parents. They are providing for your expenses. So you can make them happy by saving certain money. Can't you do that at your own end? And here I am not talking about earning money. If you can earn money, that's wonderful. You can earn money by putting videos on YouTube. There are many ways in which you can earn money, but you can do that. But count your expenses. And one of my senior once told me, and that's a very, very true thing. Just start counting your expenses and they will reduce. Right? Ways to earn money at your end are limited, Krish. But things like a lot of online things are coming now. You can work online, you can provide your services. Like if you know certain things, if you are you can share your expertise online also. So categorizing each head separately depending on the nature of expense, such as food, clothing, travel, taxes. Now this is when you grow up. Investing and your age kids, you should start bank accounts first. Bank accounts and FDs and RDs first. Don't go for share and all, you will not be able to do that. So at your age, till the time you are 18, only bank account, banks. After that, you can go for many things. Yes, you can invest with your father. That's a wonderful thing. That's how you start with in investing. And in the next class, we are going to talk detail about investing. In the next class, ask me anything about any investment product. Okay. We will be talking about share market. We'll be talking about mutual funds. We'll be talking about bank FDs and all. Next class is third, Kashish. Next, today is third, na? Next class is fifth. Fifth, Wednesday. Okay. So you need to categorize each head separately depending on the nature of expense. This is when you'll grow up. Preparation of income statement of the period. And for you people, okay, for you people, income statement would be the money that you will be getting from your parents. That is your income, credit. Okay. And debit is what all your expenses are. Okay. And see, calculating, and you people don't have to worry about, because if there is deficit, you can easily go to your dad or mom and fulfill that deficit. Okay. But still, make a budget for yourself. Okay. Make a budget for yourself, make a target for yourself. Let's say if you are getting 2,000, 3,000, whatever amount your parents give you for your personal expenses, make a target. This month I am going to save 500 rupees. I'm not asking you to make very big target. Make target as small as, if you're getting 2,000 rupees, make a target that you are going to save 500 rupees out of that. So that means if you are getting 2,000 rupees, you assume you are getting 1,500 only. And try to find out. Don't calculate cash surplus at the end of the period. Decide your surplus. What I'm saying is, decide your surplus. Try that for 1 month and see if it works out. Whatever I am talking about, do you think that this thing that I'm talking about, is it practical? Would you be able to end with a surplus? Yes, Shreyas, but I would not suggest going for this. Okay, but if you can do that, do that. SIP is for the people who is having a regular income. Okay. Try doing that. It will be an interesting exercise, and at the end of the day, you will be able to save some money. No, what is the harm in that? Utilize that money. Kashish, I think as Arun is saying, the sessions will be available on YouTube. Huh?
Yes, these sessions would be available, but then there is a lead time.
After some time, these sessions will be available on YouTube, and you will get the link.
Yeah, and probably just a word of caution for them. There is a program already there, but that's for younger ones. So don't probably invest. You know, if you're a class
Financial
9
literacy program.
yeah, there is, but that's for class 6, 7 kids. Right?
Okay. So there is a financial literacy program for younger kids. Don't confuse it from there.
We'll start uploading it towards the weekend, right? But for now, I think you're staying invested with the classes, so shouldn't be a immediate need.
Perfect. Now the next question comes. I am asking you to reduce your expenses. I am asking you to decide on your surplus. So reducing expenses, how do you reduce the expenses? Based on the information available in the income statement means credit statement, things that are having the incoming of the money. Okay. Based on the information available in the income statement, you need to compare the relative percentage of total expenses spent on each expense head, like we did. Okay. When we are looking at detailed budget of the housing, we were looking at how much we are spending on electricity, how much we are spending on grocery, how much we are spending on any other expenditure. Okay. You can compare this with the common norms for the expenditure for the similar income groups. This is a later exercise when you grow up, but right now, if you are looking that I am spending this much money on stationery, I am spending this much money on internet, I am spending this much money on the printouts that I am taking for the school assignments, I am spending this much money on the binding and the things that I am doing, compare with what your friends are doing. You might be surprised that for the same thing, your friends might have devised a better idea and they might be spending lesser. So you can take their best practices. These are called best practices. Okay. So identify the best practices, identify disparity in the nature of expenses in the past, and make a schedule that which expense you can reduce. Okay. These are the things we have done when we are doing our case studies. No, we were looking at each expenses separately, each head of the expenses separately, because I am sure in every case, not all the expenses can be reduced. Some of the expenses can be reduced, and the sum of the expenses cannot be reduced. Like if you are spending money on something which is absolutely essential, like you are going in a tuition, and the person is charging that, cannot be reduced. Okay. Prepare a plan for reduction of those expenditures and exactly, Joyous, minimize your discretionary. So the first thing is, after identifying the heads, classify this into discretionary and indiscretionary. Indiscretionary, don't have to apply your mind. Discretionary is that you can reduce them, and reduce them by how much amount. Okay. Because it cannot be done away with completely. No, budgeting is not about reducing your expenditure altogether. Okay. Budgeting is all about being aware of your expenditures and keeping them in the reasonable limits. Okay. Prepare a plan of reduction of those expenses and implement the plan, which is a wonderful thing. Review reduction over a period of time and modify the plan if required. If after you have reduced the expenditure, there can be two possibilities. One, you are feeling, okay, I have reduced less, I can reduce even more. Or second, you might be feeling that no, you have reduced too much. It is hampering your work. So, review the plan. This is basically what we are talking about. We are talking about a systematic approach. Just a second. So what are the benefits of budgeting up till now? Summarizing, I would say at the end, budgeting is the process for tracking, planning, and controlling the inflow and outflow of income and expenses. Okay. Please understand, income is, you can control the income, you can increase your income, you can create sources of passive income also. Okay. What are the benefits of budgeting? What are we talking about? Budgeting puts checks and balances in place in order to prevent overspending at various levels. When you are aware of your expenses, when you are counting your expenses, then you will not cross the line. Okay. Generally, what happens is when we are not aware of our expenses, when we are happy with the income coming in, then we don't even see what we are spending on. So there are chances where our expenses are more than our income because the money is lying in our bank account and we are spending online nowadays. Okay. And online might early, since, like for example, for your case, your account has 5,000 rupees. Okay. And your mom has given you 2,000 rupees more, so you become 7,000 rupees. Now, even if this month you only got only 2,000 rupees, but even if you will spend 2,500 rupees, your account won't be empty, no? And if you are not aware of this thing, you won't even be bothered. You will say, okay, account had money, account has money. But what really has happened is, if your expenditure is more than your income or a consistent basis, say your bank balance has reduced by 500 rupees. Now, if the same happens next month also, your bank balance would be 3,500 or 4,000 rupees. And if this keeps on happening, your bank balance will be zero, no? And then you will realize, oh, where the money has gone from my bank. This is what happens when expenditure is more than income, then it reduces our net worth to a level where my net worth becomes near to zero. And what is the situation called when your net worth becomes zero? What is it called when your net worth becomes zero? It is called bankruptcy. Yeah. So, if your expenditure, if you are not keeping track on expenditure and your expenditure are consistently more than your income, then nobody can save you from bankruptcy. Companies become bankrupt, that's okay. But on an individual level, it's difficult. Yeah, you will go in debt, no? Your, even if you don't go in debt, your existing assets will reduce. So budget helps you assess whether you are living within your means or extending credit limits unreasonably. You are unnecessarily increasing your debt. It helps you assess which areas you can reduce expenses on and by what means you can increase your income and net cash balances. It takes into account the unexpected need for fund. Okay? And at the same time, it helps you plan in advance for major fund requirement. Okay? So basically, budgeting, keeping an eye on your expenses is going to keep you closer to what? What is your final goal? Keeping an eye on expenses, maintaining your expenses properly will get you towards your final goal. What is your final goal? Financial freedom. Yes. Retirement. Retirement is not the financial goal, final goal. Financial freedom, I will say. Yeah, retirement. It can be called retirement also, but call that financial freedom. Okay. So we go to financial freedom by increasing our net worth. And what is the only way of our net worth, increasing our net worth? When your income is more than your expenses, and income is more than expenses, that you can ensure only if you keep an eye on that. So how do you do? Calculate your expected income for the period of budget. What is the money that you are going to get? Determine your expenses, note down your debt if you have to take some debt, and determine your expenses for non-essentials, your indiscretionary expenditures, and reduce your indiscretionary expenditures by whatever amount you can. Okay. So between needs and wants, I am not asking you to get rid of your wants. Wants are also very important. Now, the life has meaning only when we have needs and wants both. Okay. But reduce your expenditure on non-essential, reduce your expenditure on wants. Your wants should not override your needs. And finally, calculate your savings. So, what is our goal when we are talking about budgeting? Our goal is to have a positive surplus. Okay. What do we do with positive surplus? By budgeting, you have created a positive surplus. Okay. Now, what do you do with the positive surplus? Yes, Aparna, minimize. Invest. Exactly. Soha, Ananya. Once we are done with budgeting, once we know that how much is my income, how much is expenditure, so I will invest to create assets. Okay. So the next logical step after budgeting is investing. That's why your next session that we are going to talk about is about investing. So next session we have titled very interestingly, Nurturing the Money Plant. Okay. This is the seed of your money plant. Income minus expenses, that is savings. Okay. By saving money, you have sowed a seed of your money plant. Now by putting money into investment, we will be nurturing the money plant. So this is my story for today. What are the morals of today's story? Thank you. What are the morals of today's story? Any morals we can derive? Save money. Income, keep an eye on your expenses. Cut your discretionary expenses. Okay. Don't buy things that you do not need. If you buy, start doing budgeting. Yes. Keep an eye on expenses. So all of you, I expect to keep, after these sessions, for the May month, make a budget for yourself and make a target. I'll save 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, whatever you can save. Yes, save money now and money will save you for in the future. Yes, saving now, delaying your gratification will make your life easier in future. Thanks a lot. My things are done.